important even just a couple of days working with Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis or as Bud Crawford will do in their fight.
Bien, bien hecho. Bonita finta otra vez ahí. No te la cambias.
Crawford fight, not Crawford. I don't think Boots fight like Crawford at all. That was just some, I think the comparison they was making initially was just as they both were switch hitters and they both could be so naturally. That's really the only thing that they do.
The boxing world is in shock after news broke that Canelo Alvarez has been sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis in preparation for his upcoming bout against Terence Crawford.
Bien, bien, bien. Dándole la cintura. Bien, bien hecho. Bonita finta otra vez ahí. No te la cambias. Ahí. Suavecito y remate. Otra vez. Y remate. Suavecito y remate. Un pasito atrás y volver.
Many view this as a strong statement of intent from Canelo's camp. Former world champion Andre Dirrell noted that the move signals Canelo's commitment to peak performance come September, with no room for complacency. Ennis is known for his speed, explosiveness, and versatility, qualities that make him one of the closest stylistic matches to Crawford. Bringing Boots into camp not only shows respect for Crawford's skill set but also highlights just how seriously Canelo is taking this challenge.
Camp with Canelo. I do believe this is get back on Crawford for not taking the fight with Boots back in 2024 when Boots called him out. But Crawford was on the bigger and better things, baby. That bigger and better things being Canelo Alvarez, September 13th, 2025. Bigger legacy, bigger name, bigger payday, bigger status. So, too little, too late, Boots. But I am looking forward to how you advance in your career after this, because this camp is definitely going to level you up, man. You're going to get better because of it in every aspect. Toughness, skill set, smarts. You're going to get a lot from this camp, champ. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do because of it. You're already a bad man, dog. I want to see where you take it from here. But Crawford, it's over. I believe he walking away in the sunset, especially if he walk away with the victory, which I'm hoping for. But you, champ, you're going to have to settle for something else. Get Canelo that work, man. He going to need it. He going to need it. According to Roy Jones, Canelo got to be on his A game. You got to be on yours too, man. We looking forward to seeing what you do after this. It's raining on me right now, so I'm going to cut this short, baby. But Boots, get somebody else, champ. Get somebody else. I'm out.
Boxing Orbit sent shockwaves through the boxing world after tweeting a photo of Canelo Alvarez sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis. The post read, Canelo Alvarez sparring with Jaron Ennis ahead of his bout with Terence Crawford on September 13th, sparking intense reactions from fans and analysts around the globe. Trainer Greg Hackett weighed in on the move, calling it one of the most talked about decisions in the lead-up to the Crawford fight. According to Hackett, the strong reactions from fans and media are completely understandable. No one saw this collaboration coming. While it may seem like a surprising or even odd pairing at first, Hackett insists there's nothing random about it. Canelo is gearing up for an opponent like Terence Crawford, someone known for ambition, adaptability, and relentless intensity. In that light, bringing Boots Ennis into camp is a strategic decision to replicate the kind of pressure and dynamic energy Crawford brings to the ring. Hackett was quick to stress that Ennis is far from just another sparring partner. He's one of boxing's brightest rising stars, known for his speed, explosiveness, and hunger to prove himself. By surrounding himself with that level of talent, Canelo is making sure he's tested and pushed every single day in training. What some might see as a publicity stunt, Hackett sees as part of a carefully crafted plan. In his view, Canelo's team is showing real respect for Crawford by preparing in a way that leaves nothing to chance when fight night comes.
I don't know, because it's things I know about camp and how they want things to go. So is it going to be that way? Is y'all going to try to alter the camp, or is y'all going to let them go? Or, I mean, is y'all looking to still?
Give me the psychology behind both sides. What does Jaron Ennis get from this? What does Canelo Alvarez get from this?
I mean, Jaron Ennis get from it being in with the elite, a guy who's prepared for everything. One thing you can't say about Canelo is that he hasn't seen something. Canelo's seen southpaws, he's seen tall guys, short guys, slick fighters, he's seen bulls, he's been up against everything. So you get a world of experience with a guy like Canelo. You get a guy who's in full confidence with a guy like Canelo. So with that type of boxing, I would see Canelo really not worried about so much of what Boots trying to do to him, but really just paying attention to him. But then it's the same, like, I don't know, I can see Boots kind of like, I think the mindset for Boots would be not only to prove I can hang, but to also be trying to see what would come with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't think I would do that. I don't know. It's just me. I just think, the only reason I say that, because I think Boots can get that fight. I think Boots can end up in a fight with Canelo. And I'm saying that because, you know, the reason I say I wouldn't do it is because I wouldn't spar you and then here go a year later they fighting. Nah,
I mean, for as much as it does for Canelo, it does for Boots, though, right? If that were to be the case.
Yeah, but there's so many ways it could go. And what I'm saying is, if I was to be where Boots is right now, if one thing we can all agree on, everybody hate Boots right now. They mad at Boots, right?
Jose Benavidez Sr. has brushed off the buzz surrounding Canelo's sparring choices, making it clear that his camp isn't getting caught up in the online chatter. In his eyes, the only thing that truly matters is what happens when the bell rings on fight night. Benavidez Sr. pointed out that fans and media often overanalyze sparring partners, forgetting that they're simply part of the preparation process. Whether Canelo brought in Boots Ennis or someone else, he says, it doesn't change the reality. Terence Crawford is a completely different challenge. For Benavidez Sr., results aren't decided in the gym, they're earned under the lights, when it counts. His comments serve as a grounded reminder that while headlines and social media hype can stir excitement, seasoned camps stay focused, tuning out the noise and sticking to their game plan.
You know, whatever, we're not even like thinking about it anymore, and you were just like, you know, Canelo is slipping and stuff like that. Does it make you kind of rethink Canelo and that Crawford fight to be like, well, he's really taking it serious to bring in a guy like Jaron Ennis?
Well, like I said, you know, I don't really focus on that. You know, we stay in our lane, you know, and try to get better ourselves. And whatever they do, whatever they decide to bring in or whatever, you know, I'm pretty sure they have a plan. But I don't really focus on what other people do. We focus on what we do in order to get better ourselves. Because we do have a lot of things that we need to fix and get better at. So my respects to whatever they do or whatever they're doing, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, I think it's a good thing, but we don't really focus on that, you know, what other people do. You know, like I said, we got to get better at our craft.
Brian Norman offers a more critical perspective on Canelo's decision to spar with Jaron "Boots" Ennis. While he acknowledges Boots as a sensational talent, Norman argues that Ennis's style doesn't truly reflect what Terence Crawford brings to the ring. According to Norman, the similarities between the two fighters are mostly physical, comparable builds and the ability to throw powerful shots. Beyond that, he insists their approaches to boxing are fundamentally different. Crawford is a master of switching stances, setting traps, and adapting his strategy in real time. In contrast, Boots is known for his explosiveness and aggressive pace. Norman warns that while sparring with Ennis will no doubt give Canelo a tough and valuable challenge, it won't fully prepare him for the unique skill set Crawford possesses. His take serves as a necessary counterpoint to the widespread praise, reminding fans and analysts alike that even smart preparation has its limitations.
I mean, I think it's good work. Crawford, I don't think Crawford fight. I'm not Crawford. I don't think Boots fight like Crawford at all. That was just I think the comparison that they was making initially was just as they both were switch hitters and they both could be so naturally. That's really the only thing that they do the same. They don't do anything else the same, literally. So I never understood the comparison in that myself. But I think it's still a good look because all work is good work and you want the best work. You feel what I'm saying? So if Jaron Ennis is supposed to be the best work, even though he was a 47-pounder and not going up to 54, which is the same thing that Crawford was. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I do think that Boots getting a lot of unnecessary backlash about doing it, though. I don't agree with the backlash she's getting about, you know what I'm saying, going to spar, getting that paycheck, getting that experience. Because I think he needed it anyway. I always talk trash about him. I always stand in Philly, hiding in Philly. He don't ever want to go outside to spar. He don't ever want to go outside to do nothing else. So in this case right here, I think it's well needed for his career. It's needed for the building of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out. You got to go in certain different types of territories and, you know, places and get that kind of work. So I mean, I think Boo's getting a lot of unnecessary criticism, and if I'm defending him, you know it's real. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's getting a lot of unnecessary criticism, talking about sellout and all of that. That's some bullshit. Like,
Alao gives a sobering reminder of where Canelo Alvarez stands today compared to his prime, pointing to the 2018 rematch with Gennady Golovkin as the peak of his career. That was 7 years ago. And while Canelo has remained a top-tier fighter, Alao argues he hasn't looked quite as sharp or dominant since. This perspective raises a crucial question: can even smart training decisions, like bringing in Jaron "Boots" Ennis, truly close the gap between Canelo's current form and the red-hot momentum of Terence Crawford? Alao suggests the intensity in Canelo's camp may reflect an awareness that today's version of the Mexican star needs every possible edge to match the challenge ahead.